Now, there's a few strange things that happen when you lose body fat. When you lose body fat, there's a lot of changes that happen both to you internally and externally and to your mindset. In this video, I'm going to cover just a few strange things that happen when you lose body fat, and I'm going to focus on the positives in this video. The first thing that happens when you lose body fat is you look more youthful. Now, I've noticed this one in myself, but I've noticed this in many other people. When they've lost body fat, when they've lost even just 10 kgs, you notice that they just look younger. When you lose body fat, there's actually body fat in your face. So when you lose body fat, your overall body fat percentage goes down, and your face actually just looks more youthful because your cheekbones become more visible. These bones here, your bone structure in your face, think your jawline, it becomes sharper, and you look like a younger version of yourself. Some people actually reverse age by 5 to 10 years just by losing body fat. I've seen 50-year-olds who just lost body fat and they look like they reverse aged 10 years because they've lost the body fat. You almost look like a better, more attractive version of yourself just by losing body fat. The best change that you can make is losing body fat if you want to look way better. It's not to go get a surgery, go do plastic surgery, none of that. It's actually just losing body fat. If you can lose body fat, you will look like a better, more attractive, more youthful, younger version of yourself. The next thing that happens when you lose body fat is your confidence is boosted crazy. In fact, confidence comes from when you achieve in one area of your life and when you put in a lot of time, attention, and focus into one area of your life. When you lose body fat, you've sort of mastered and taken control of that one area of your life, because you need to take control of your habits, your eating habits, your gym habits. You have to take control of your life and say, okay, I want to eat this. When you take that level of control and you start to see a change in your actual life, you just get this sense of confidence. A lot of people are insecure because they have body weight. They've got body fat and they're insecure because of that. They're like, does my tummy show when I do this? Does my tummy show in this dress? Imagine if you just lost the body fat. You wouldn't have that insecurity to say, does my tummy show in this angle, in this dress? When I do this, don't take a photo of me before I've sucked in. Just imagine if all that insecurity just went. You have a new level of self-confidence that can't be explained. When you work on yourself and you become the best version of yourself in terms of your physique and how you look, you just carry yourself with a different level of confidence that can't even be explained. And because you've worked on yourself, the highest form of self-love is actually discipline. Because you've disciplined your body and you've shown self-love to yourself. You haven't treated yourself with cupcakes and sugar and junk food. You've actually eaten healthy, you've eaten clean. And it's showing in your body. The result of that discipline is showing in your body. You get a different level of self-confidence that you can't get from anything else. Money can't buy that self-confidence. Nothing materialistic can give you that level of self-confidence. No therapy or anything like that can give you that level of self-confidence. You can only get that level of self-confidence when you've worked on yourself and you've seen the result of your hard work pay off in your body. And it shows, it goes everywhere. It walks with you. The result of your hard work that you've put into your body, it goes with you everywhere you go. Social situations, the workplace, the office. Everywhere you go, it shows that I've put in the work and you're putting that out there. And that level of self-confidence is just radiating throughout your body. And it's not just self-confidence, it's self-love. All of those insecurities you used to have gone away. Most insecurities that people have are regarding their body or their health. A lot of people who don't take care of their health and they have a little bit more body fat, they're fluffy, they have a level of insecurity that only comes from not taking care of their body. It could be you used to be like, does my tummy show when I wear this dress? And you're trying to hide it because you know deep down that you're not the best version of yourself and you're not where you should be. Deep down, that's your calling to say, make a change. And that insecurity is your mind trying to tell you that this is not where you're supposed to be. But you keep ignoring it. And that insecurity will never leave you until you change your body. And then that insecurity will go away because you've taken care of your body. And that insecurity gets replaced with self-confidence. The next thing is you have increased social presence. When you get into good shape, you stand out more because we live in a world full of a lot of people who are out of shape. Look at the obesity rates in America. It's 40% of people are obese. So when you get into good shape, you actually automatically just stand out because you're different. You're different from everyone else. You're cut from a different cloth. People can see that, okay, it's difficult to get into shape. It's hard work. And that's sort of the reward you get. You have more social presence. You're more noticeable. It's easy for people people to notice you, and you also have a certain level of respect from people, because people say, okay, it's hard to get into shape and you're in shape, so they naturally just respect you more. There's a certain level of respect that just comes from being in good shape. So I have a personal story. Right now, I'm in the best shape of my life. I just feel so good about myself internally. I'm just easily able to be authentic, just to be myself, because I'm happy with myself. I'm happy with how I look. I'm happy with how I feel. And I just feel so good that I'm naturally just myself. I'm not putting on this front, trying to act like someone I'm not. Before I lost the weight, I didn't feel that good about myself internally, so I wasn't authentic. I was trying to be someone I was not, and I was naturally also just a follower, because when you take control of your own life, when you take control of your own habits, you naturally become a leader of your life, and a leader of your own life lends itself as being a leader in general, a leader of other people. You start to lead other people. Why? Because you've taken control of your own life, and you're a leader in your own life. You're the main character of your own life. You naturally become the main character in other people's lives. You naturally have more presence and more impact and more leadership on other people's lives, because you are comfortable and happy with who you are internally. So you're able to be more authentic and be a better leader just by being in shape. When you're not in shape, you're not comfortable in yourself. You know that you're not living up to your full potential. You know that you're not the best that you can be. You naturally aren't that confident about yourself. You're like, and then you naturally become more of a follower. You find somebody who is confident about themselves, who is a leader of their own life, and you start to follow them. Sort of like if there's a social situation and there's a group, there's always that guy that's the leader. And the reason why that guy is able to be such a leader is because he's taken control of his life, and he's the leader of his own life. And naturally, when you're the leader of your own life, you can be a leader in someone else's life. But if you can't even take control of your body and your mindset and be a leader of your own life, then how can you be a leader of somebody else's life? No one is going to listen to you, and you're not going to have that impact. The next thing that changes is you start moving way easier. And what do I mean by this? I mean everything from walking to running to jumping to doing pull-ups. If you were 100 kgs before, now you're 70 kgs, you weigh less. Naturally, everything is easier. Doing a pull-up is easier because you're pulling up 70 kgs versus before you're pulling up 100 kgs. Even walking, going on runs. Running is just so easier because your body is light. You feel so light. You feel like a paper. You can pick yourself up. You can move. You can jump. You can run. Now you want to get interested in, can I do a handstand? You start wanting to move your body in different ways, and you're more motivated. A lot of people don't like going on runs because they're super unfit, because their body is just heavy and it's difficult. But imagine if you lost 30 kgs, how much easier running would be. And because it's easier, it's more fun and it's more enjoyable. So you losing the weight actually gets you more motivated to move in your body and challenging your body more to see what your body is truly capable of. The reason why you don't like going on runs, you don't like doing pull-ups, you don't like doing push-ups, is because your body is just so heavy that everything is so difficult. Even just standing up, moving, walking, it's so difficult. Versus if you lost the weight, everything becomes easier. Now you want to get interested. Can I do a backflip? Can I do a front flip? Can I flip in this way? Can I do a cartwheel and all this? Because everything is just so much easier. It's more fun. This is when it starts getting interesting. Because the people that saw you before, when you were like heavy, when you were out of shape, when you were in the worst shape of your life, and then now they see you, they see the difference, they start asking you, what's the secret? Or they start wanting to know what you're doing. Because they're like, no, before you weren't this weight, you weren't this light, you weren't this slim, you didn't look this fit. What's going on? And then they want to know the secret. They think there's some kind of a secret that they don't know. What are you doing? I also want to lose my weight. I also want to look fit. And now you naturally become like a motivation and an inspiration to other people without even realizing it. Naturally, just your transformation. As people see the transformation, they want the same transformation for themselves. They're like, you transformed. We saw how you were before and we see you now. What happened? Because they want to transform. Who doesn't want to be in the best shape of their life? Who doesn't want to look their best? Who doesn't want to look slim? Everyone wants that change for themselves. And you're actually more inspiring to people because you transformed. You were someone before and now you're completely different. You're more inspiring to people than the people who are just already fit their whole lives. They were just born fit. Because you used to be out of shape, you used to be unfit, now you fit. What changed? I want to make that difference. You become more of an inspiration than people who are just born fit. Because it's like, no, you were one of us before and now you transformed. And people just get so motivated and inspired that if you can do it, then I can do it. The discipline you gain spills over into all areas of your life. Now, a lot of people, when they start the diet, they don't realize it takes discipline. It takes sticking to an approach. It takes saying no, sticking to a diet, sticking to a training plan. That's discipline. And disciplined people are disciplined in general. You can't be disciplined with just this area. Discipline is like a muscle. When you exercise discipline in one area of your life, naturally you just become a more disciplined person in general. A lot of people, when we look at them, we go, that's a disciplined person. We don't go, he's disciplined with the gym. No, we go, that's a disciplined person in general. If we look at a Navy SEAL or a soldier, we go, he's disciplined. He's a disciplined person in general, because that discipline spills over to all areas of your life. When people lock in and they get serious about their fitness journey, naturally we see other areas of their life improve. They start making more money. They start having better relationships, because they have that discipline, and that discipline naturally just spills over to other areas of their life. And we see their lives just improve completely in every single way, because that discipline cannot stay contained in just fitness. It naturally just blossoms into every single other area of your life. And the same is with undiscipline. If you're not disciplined with your body, naturally you just aren't a disciplined person in general. We just find that your eating's probably poor. You probably have bad habits. You probably spend too much time watching TV or on your phone. That undiscipline spills over to other areas of your life. The next thing that happens is you start looking more photogenic. Literally, you start liking your own candid photos of yourself. If somebody just takes a picture of you randomly and you look at that photo, you're like, wow, that's a nice photo, because you just become more aesthetically appealing. Before, you needed the perfect angle. You're like, no, let me do this, and let me suck in, and let me turn like this. And then you needed a certain angle, you needed a certain lighting, you needed a certain camera to like the photo. But now it's just like, if somebody takes a candid photo of you just standing there, you're like, okay, that photo looks kind of nice, because you like how you look, because you just look better. When you lose body fat, for men, your muscles become more sculpted, your biceps become more sculpted, your body looks harder because your muscles are hard. And then fat is that squishiness, so you don't look squishy, you look hard defined. If you've got a six-pack and somebody just takes a photo of you, wow, the photo looks good. Versus, imagine if you're 40 pounds overweight and somebody takes a photo of you, it's like, I don't really like that photo. Can you delete that? Yeah. When you look lean, when you look aesthetic, your body just looks better. If you're a woman, your body looks more curvy. Your waist is sort of smaller. You have the curves up around your waist, you have the curves here, and you just like the photos because you have that more of that hourglass shape, and you're like, wow, I like that photo because I look good in that photo. And naturally, when you lose the body fat, you just look more photogenic, you just look more photo ready, more model like. Your journey is proof that it is possible, especially for the people who saw you at your worst point. They saw you when you're in the worst shape of your life. These people now see the change and they're like, okay, you know what? It's possible. It's possible to get into the best shape of our lives. And you become a motivation to people.